Welcome back to all you powerboating maniacs out there who love the Florida Powerboat Club channel, and we have got a great show today, which will wrap up a series of 4 episodes with feature coverage of the 2024 Tampa Bay Poker Run from downtown Tampa with over 70 teams registered. This episode is absolutely packed full of fun people on their powerboats on a beautiful day in Tampa. So let's get going, guys. And before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. Our 2024 event season is presented by Mercury Racing Wide Open. And alphabetically, our series sponsors include Cigarette Racing Team, Concept Boats, CORTEZ Cove Marina, Deep Impact Custom Boats, Fountain Powerboats, Iconic Marine Group, Midnight Express Powerboats, MTI Marine Technology Inc., Myco Trailers, Nortec High Performance Boats, Performance Boat Center, and by SD Marine Group Isla Morada. So we're back with the teams midday Saturday as we continue our poker run cards, and there is the landmark St. Petersburg Pier, and what a beautiful structure it is. Took them a long time to build it, but boy, that took a lot of concrete. And it is another landmark, and that's the Vinoy Basin, and kind of hold this very dear in my heart because this Vinoy Resort is where we got this event started almost 15 years ago. And it's just nice to return. We're not really staying. It's a touch and go with our poker card handoff boat, which is going to be a big 80-foot Sunseeker today. So everybody's just chilling out and having a nice idle speed scenic cruise through the Vinoy Basin, which of course is on the doorstep to downtown St. Petersburg. And there she is. There's that big 80-foot Sunseeker, 007, now owned by Nick and Priscilla Buis from Statement, which means I guess they sold a lot of Statements because that's a beautiful boat to get out and enjoy. And they've got a big party going on now and a couple of Statements rafted up. And a quick shot of Devin WOZENCRAFT, our sponsor, riding aboard his 34 Victory Cat with a pair of Mercury Racing 500s. So here's a couple of shots of the boats coming up to get their cards. It looks like that's Team Fountain CORTEZ Cove in the 39 Fountain DX model. Triple Mercury 400R outboards, and looks like the Statement party is now down to 1 Statement and 1 Sunseeker, but they piled a lot of people on that Sunseeker today, that's for sure. And a closer look now at Michael FOUTZ and his crew from Ohio in that brand new Fountain 38 SCX model with the patriotic paint job on the sides of the boat. Triple Mercury Racing 400Rs getting their first poker run in on this new Fountain. And now, once again, with Chad and Nadia Van Tilburg, Team High Limit. They're from Punta Gorda, not too far away, just to the south. They've got 3 brand new crew members on board doing their very first poker run, and they said they absolutely loved it, especially having it based out of downtown Tampa. Amazing paint and graphics on this 44-foot concept, which has a stereo that could power a nightclub. And it looks like the Punta Gorda crowd is continuing as Thomas and Susan Klein roll along behind the Van Tilburgs in their 39 Nortec. And the reason they're together is because they run everywhere together. In fact, they left Punta Gorda on Thursday in the wind and the rain, 30-mile-an-hour winds, and somehow made it safely up to Tampa Bay. And I'm sure they're enjoying this beautiful Saturday, which is a little breezy, but nothing like it was on Thursday. And now it's Greg Roberts and Mike Rory in this carbon copy. 2024 MTI 42 is carbon fiber edition, and with those Quad Mercury Racing 500Rs, I'm guessing it's one of the faster 42s out there. And just a little rumble in the bay here from this 1995 old school Top Gun. Alan Lima, the owner of Grove Harbor Marina in Coconut Grove, and his 95 gun powered by 525s, and now riding on what is practically the sister ship, a 2038 Top Gun, myself, my wife Jackie. As we pull up to get our card, let's check in with this 007 crew and see how much fun they're having. All right, 007! And here's the angle from on board the 007. Thanks to the crew for providing us with these shots. Looks like Tom Hall pulling up here in his 42-foot MTI, 5 Mercury Racing 500s. And I can honestly say that I've never seen two 42 MTIs that were ever exactly the same. And it so happens that this event, we have such a range in the different paint and graphic schemes on the boats, like Roger and Lazara oars here in their gold-colored 42 MTI, black bottom, black top, black motors. It is just a beautiful ride. Well, the cats need love too, and this is a 40-foot Mystic carbon layup. Sal Olivia from Long Island, New York. His first poker run with the new Mystic. He just took delivery, pair of Mercury Racing 500Rs. And take a close look at the cockpit, and the layout of this boat is so different than any others with that lounge seat in the aft section. And it's another Mystic cat. This time it's Brett and Allie Lasso in this beautiful 38 Mystic cat, pair of Mercury Racing 400Rs. Let's say hi to Dennis Phillips and his crew and Team Clean Money. A beautiful MTI with a visual imagination paint job. It's a 2023 440X with a pair of Mercury Racing 500Rs and a lovely crew on board today. Great recruiting program you got going, Dennis. And we're going to take a moment to break away from our poker card handoff scene. We'll return to that shortly. Let's get back up in the air and chase down some more of our boats for some high-speed thrills. And now for the old school segment, it's going to be Alan Lima in his 1995 38 Top Gun. Who's riding out on the bay waters now and not trying to set any speed records, just got the boat dialed in, going for a nice Saturday cruise on Tampa Bay. Getting a little choppy out here. We're going to continue the run on Tampa Bay waters, which for the most part have calmed down quite a bit from what we saw earlier when we were cruising down at the south end of Tampa Bay by the Sunshine Skyway. But now we're up in the north end of the bay where we're going to stay for the rest of the day. And I suppose it's a reenactment of sorts from a couple of years earlier in Tampa when Alan and I got together and ran the two Top Guns side by side. But let me tell you about a new episode coming up with the Amazing Race series on CBS. The season starts airing in March, and somewhere early summer, the final episode features 3 cigarettes running together, myself, Alan Lima's Top Gun, and Tori Robeson in his 39 Top Gun. And we have the actual racers on board for the final episode in Miami. And now we're catching up with Ken and Laura Wilkins in Team Docked Wages. It's a 2004 34 Cobalt. The first and probably only Cobalt that we've had in the club. It's powered by Mercruiser 496 HOs at 425 horsepower aside. So it was a family affair for the Wilkins, who trailered over from Melbourne, Florida. And now we're going to catch up with Mike FOUTZ from Ohio in his brand new Fountain 38 SCX model. And this boat is completely pimped out. I love the features on the boat. And this model was really created with the poker runner in mind, not really for fishing, but more about poker runs with a lot of creature comforts, the double row seating. In fact, a lot of seating on board, especially up in the bow. I like how they placed the custom sea deck right through the entire boat, down the gunnels and on the T-top. And to finish it off, a triple Mercury Racing 400Rs. Really the ideal package if you want to go out and do poker runs. We want to thank Fountain for their continuing sponsor support with the Florida Powerboat Club. Now we're going to zoom in on Greg Roberts, Mike Rory, and their crew and Team Carbon Copy. They're all the way from Kentucky, hanging out here on their first FPC event here in Tampa. And they are one of 12 MTIs registered for the poker run event. Home base is Kentucky, so they're a long way from home. They say they do most of their boating on Lake Cumberland, and of course, we all know that is the home of the Lake Cumberland Poker Run every September. And that is the poker run that Jackie and I attended last summer, and we actually won the poker run. And now it's Tom and Susan Klein in their 39 Nortec. It's a 390 Sport, nicely trimmed out with the gray colors and the black trim and black T-top. But notice they did something different inside the cockpit. They've got the forward seating at the helm, but then instead of doing the second row forward seating, they did a rear-facing seat, which a lot of people like. 13 Nortecs registered for the Tampa Bay run. Chad and Nadia Van Tilburg once again, and a closer look at this big 44 concept. What a beast. It's just a huge platform. 4 Mercury Racing 400Rs, and you've just got to love the whole layout of this boat and the paint and graphics, how everything ties in with the red T-top, the red highlights along the boat, and of course the red traces on the Mercury Racing cowlings. One of the nicest concepts ever built, in my opinion. And it looks like AJ Bott from Cortez Cove Marina in Sarasota is really pushing the throttles on this Fountain DX39 model. triple Mercury 400s, and this is a factory demo, was released at the Miami Boat Show 2 months earlier, and then attended the Miami Boat Show poker run. So nice to see it again. I'm sure this boat is going to find a home very soon. Simon Williams from Cortez Cove told me he's got another 39DX coming soon, and we'll look for that on an upcoming poker run with Florida Powerboat Club. And time for some cat play with Sal Olivia in Escape 2. This is a 40 Mystic Carbon layup. And now you get a good chance to see just how nicely laid out that cockpit is on the Mystic 40 Carbon. Sal made a big move to get out of his cigarette V-bottoms and into this cat, but I think he's happy with his decision. Enjoying his first run on the new cat. And now it's Team Timekiller with Eric Lemoyne at the helm in this 43 Midnight Express with Ferrari red paint, tan interior, and black accents. Another beautiful boat that, as Eric says in his bio, is hard to miss. One thing Eric said about Tampa Bay, it really has a variety of different conditions depending on which end of the bay you're at. 1 minute you can be in calm water, the next minute in choppy. He feels that offers a great opportunity for captains to hone their skills in a variety of conditions. I couldn't agree more. And now catching up with PJ Jordan and his crew, First Mate Cody on this Nortec 340 Sport, Triple Mercury Racing 300Rs. They said in their video bio that it was a great event and they were blown away by how friendly everyone was. And a little more cat play and pushing up some big rooster tails today as these 244 MTIs get together. Of course, we all know that Speed Racer 44, Michael Tandoy at the helm. And the other blue MTI is Frank Bolte, Team Sharp Rider. He's running the Case engines up to about 1,800 horsepower aside. Michael's running his Mercury Racing 1100s all stock. Not trying to set any speed records, just putting on a show for the helicopter today side by side. They had a chance to practice this back a couple of months earlier at the Miami Boat Show poker run. Putting on a great show for us here today in Tampa. And back to continue our Vanoy Basin card handoff from the 007 is Rick Regal from Ohio in his 42X Team Smokin, powered by 1100s. And speaking of Team Smokin, yes indeed, Yesenia, you're doing a great job with those poker cards. And here's our Deep Impact Factory team pulling up for a card in this 399 Deep Impact. Mark Fisher at the helm. That is Glenn grabbing the card. Dave Smith on board there. That is the husband of Megan Smith, our office manager. And Mike Sands on the far side. FPC member since 1996. And a team close-up now with Kurt Watkins, Team Evil Woman, and all of his crew on board this Nortec 390 Sport. Beautiful paint job, Mercury Racing 450Rs. They traveled from Boca Raton to join us. And it's another Deep Impact 399. This time it's James and Sonia Redding in Team La Mexicana, and they do a lot of poker runs with FPC, traveling from Atlanta, Georgia to join us. And it's not his first poker run for John Van Dyke all the way from Michigan, but it is the first time for his brand new Concept 36 Open. Got a pair of Mercury Racing 500Rs. Check out this amazing cockpit with 2 rows of stand-up seating. Great job by Concept. We saw the Mystic Cat earlier, but here's the most popular model from the Mystic factory. This is the M4200. Belongs to Gary and Troy Karwowski from Florida. It's their third time on the Tampa run. They traveled up from the Sweetwater Landing Marina in Fort Myers. And it's another Fountain center console. This time it's a 2021 Fountain 38 Tournament Edition Quad Mercury Racing 400 Verados. That is Miss Carrie up on the bow grabbing the poker run card. And I've got to say, guys, Carrie has certainly got her unique style of how she likes to receive her poker card from the handoff boat. This is Aaron's third year attending the Tampa run. And speaking of Sweetwater Landing I mentioned earlier, here's Brandon Mayer, the owner of the marina in Team Now What. It's his 2022 Mystic 40 Cat, powered by Mercury Racing 450s. And Brandon and his crew are one of the teams that toughed it out on Thursday, coming all the way from Fort Myers in those 30-mile-an-hour winds and rain. It just had to be miserable with no top. And here's one of our local teams. This is Mike Holderness and his first mate Amber on board the 36-foot Yellowfin, named after its first lady, Amber Dawn. And riding on board, that is Chris and Kimberly Erickson from Sarasota, from Erickson Marine. Looks like they're all having a fun day, and this is the one and only Yellowfin in the Florida Powerboat Club. It's another team from Georgia, and a team that we've seen a lot here at the Tampa Run, Craig and Paula Ackerman in their MTI 390X team Level Up. And we're used to seeing the kids on board, but the kids are growing up and they're in school, and mom and dad are going to make this one on their own. One of our Maryland teams, Jennifer and Jack Kudo, in their 39 Nortec team Trimmed Out. Another beautiful Nortec 390 Sport. And speaking of beautiful, well, Jennifer and Caroline looking pretty good, ladies. And here we are now with Eric Lemoyne again. Cockpit close-up as the crew grabs their card, and a boat full of motorheads today, as Eric reminded us. The guys from Real Street Performance on board, and they said they had a fantastic time on the poker run. And it's Kathy and Scott Campbell, Team Sugar, who said they had a great time on their first FPC event. Sugar is the latest creation from Nortec. It's a 460 Flyer, the third one built in this series, with a hidden convertible hardtop that comes up with the push of a button. Here's a great shot of just how spacious the cockpit and the interior are, making this a fantastic day boat, not to mention those 4 Mercury Racing 500s. Arriving at our next checkpoint, which is over by the Gandy Expressway, this big Marlowe handing off the cards as Team Adrenaline pulls up. And looks like Miss Amy found herself a good ride today as she grabs the card from our FPC girls Hannah and Abby. Of course, Mike and Robin Layton on board this 47-foot Reaper, one of 2 47 Adrenalines registered for the Tampa Run. Little wave from our crew over here. Special thanks to Jack and Christian, the owners of the Marlowe. And now we've got Simon Williams pulling up with that Fountain 43 SCX model, reaching out for their card. One of the 2 CORTEZ COVE sponsored boats registered for the run. And the lovely Miss Jocelyn not only gets a card, but she gets a little shot from the Marlowe. Hey, nothing wrong with that as long as she's not driving, which she's not. And another great shot of our girls. That's Hannah on the right and Abby on the left. Look at that 10-foot platform on that 53-foot Marlowe, making it really the ideal poker card platform for what we're doing today. Even with the fenders, they did a perfect job setting this boat up. And a perfect handoff from Miss Abby over to Mike FOUTZ and his crew on the 38 SCX Fountain, scoring 10 points for this crew once again for all wearing their life jackets. Oh, we had a foul. We had a party foul there. He didn't get his shot. Oh, he's got his shot. All right. Congratulations. We've completed the deal. Well, they say birds of a feather flock together, and the Fountains are flocking today now with the 39DX pulling up. AJ Bott at the helm, and a couple of lovely ladies getting their card. We're going to move on the course now, but a big thanks to Pasa La Page, sponsored by Tampa Yacht Management, Jack and Christian for providing their 53 Marlowe and a fun crew to hand off the poker cards here today. We've reached midday, and now we're going to start our lunch stops. I think we have 4 lunch locations altogether. Of course, one of the popular ones is always going to be Hula Bay, located at Tampa Harbor Yacht Club. which is this huge dry storage facility, probably one of the biggest marinas in the area. That's the Gandy Expressway off in the distance. So it's in a great central location. But everyone loves going here because of the docking. For one, it's got a big, long floating dock, plenty of room to raft off several boats. And, of course, this nice outdoor dining vibe, patio bar sort of thing, branded as Duke's for retired surfers, as well as Hula Bay. But everybody here getting rafted up, and PJ Jordan and his crew saying, okay, Stu, come on over here. We can get you in, and everybody chipping in to help us out, get docked. And this just makes it so much easier when you've got a helping hand waiting for you. Get the fenders out, get the lines out, and get rafted up, and we can all go in and start enjoying lunch.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm stalking you guys. I'm stalking you guys.
It's my birthday.
Oh, excellent.
24.
So with the background music from our local entertainer here at Hula Bay, let's just walk around, check out the docks, and catch up with some of our teams as we get ready for a very enjoyable lunch segment here at Hula Bay.
As I roll, I begin to find our arms just what they seem to turn my whole upside down. I find the things they say just can't be right. Sure, it's not my fight with everyone. We'll sing and dance to Mother's church song. There's no time to waste around. Spinning round and round, upside down. Loose, say what's impossible. Be right. I don't want a sweet name to go away. Upside down, find the things they say just can't be found. Just not a fight with everyone. See when there's some others nature sound. This world keeps spinning and there's no time to.
And I'd say that was a real pleasant vibe for everybody, and the weather continues to be beautiful here in Tampa on this Saturday morning. Just to get our viewers up to speed, I mentioned earlier there were 4 lunch stops, this being one of them. The other 3 were Dock Fords, which is over at the St. Pete Pier. Got a number of boats that got in there and said they really enjoyed it. We also had the Getaway, not far away from this location here along the Gandy. The Getaway is a popular waterfront hotspot. We had about 15 boats docked over there. And then further to the north up into the bay around the Courtney Campbell Causeway is Whiskey Joe's. And that is like a beachfront island vibe location. Once again, another outdoor lunch served there on the patio. So with our 70 plus boats, 4 lunch locations seem to do the job. Everyone seemed quite happy, and most likely going to be some new additions and changes for the Tampa 2025 edition coming up in April. So let's listen in as the teams fire up and get ready for the departure for the afternoon run and return to our Poker Run headquarters in downtown Tampa. And I got a kick out of this shot as Mike FOUTZ and his crew on the 38 Fountain, they pull up alongside the 42 Made in America. And then what was that? That was a life jacket exchange. So obviously they came up one short on the 38 Fountain, and the guys from Made in America said, hey, we'll help you out. Here you go. And tossed the life jacket over for the final leg of the afternoon run. Nice job, guys. Well, it's Fast and Furious again, back with Tom and Suzanne Hall in Just Got Bored. I gave him the best team name because, you know what, just got bored. I love that expression. And I guess that means, well, I went out and spent $1 million on a boat because I was bored. You gotta love it. And for the guy who didn't spend $1 million on his boat, well, that would be me. But thank you to Mercury Racing and Cigarette and all my great sponsors. I was able to put together this 2000 model Cigarette Top Gun, straight bottom. It was originally Project 1080. Now it's Flight 1130 with the Mercury Racing 565s. I'm pretty sure that I just challenged this guy in the Ford pickup to a drag race on the Gandhi Expressway as we left get the getaway. Actually, we're making the getaway right now. So yeah, I was riding along, and I just kind of like slowed down, and I looked up at him, and I waved at him, and the guy in the pickup obviously was watching us because, you know, we're loud enough, I'm sure. And then I said, come on, Big Daddy, let's go. So he like puts his foot into it, and he gets that old F-250 or whatever it is rolling. And we're going about 65 here, maybe 70. And then I pushed it a little harder, and I got it up to about 72, 73. I pushed it a little harder. I trimmed it up a little bit, and we got up to about 75. And he's just pounding the throttle on that pickup. And wait for it. Well, it's hard to see, but the blue car passes him. But he says, no, I'm not going to let that happen. So he jams it, and along we go. So it was a lot of fun, and we got a lot of views of this on our Instagram channel. And now joining Mark Fitzgerald and First Mate Laura, Team Exemption, 36-foot statement cat, putting on a good show here. Got her dialed in and running fast. Now, here's a team that we haven't seen much yet. This is Mikey Boyle, who came up from Cape Coral with his 39-foot MTI. Got the helicopter chasing him down. We just kind of sat and watched all the boats go by. So we finally got a few minutes of fame for Mikey Boyle, who's very active over on this coast here with doing poker runs and rallies and such. But always having fun and putting on a great show. Thanks, Mikey. Summer times back in New Jersey, winter times down in Cape Coral. And if you stretch that 39 MTI to 44, this is what you'd get, the 440X. And it's Dennis Phillips in Team Clean Money. It's a 2023 model, one of the first ones built. A pair of Mercury Racing 500Rs to push it along. Not far from home, just 20 miles away, he boated across from the St. Pete Marina to join us. And what he loves about power boating is meeting great people from everywhere. And now back with Team Deep Impact, Mark Fisher at the helm. Boys trip today, got his buddies riding along. The ladies stayed back at the hotel for the day. And like I said earlier, guys, that means spa day for the girls. And a big shout out to Mark Fisher and his team for their continued support of the Florida Powerboat Club. Special thanks to Tim Bush for rocking the harbor in his Outer Limits stiletto with big Keith Eichert power. And it's one more time with this super cool Nuevo Jolie 38 center console. Captain Tio and Jean-Claude Mazière, we met them at the Miami Boat Show. Actually had a ride on this boat during the Mercury Racing 500 demo. And we made friends with them, and they said, hey, we want to do a poker run too. So here they are enjoying the Tampa Bay Poker Run, their very first event with FPC. We got alongside them for the ride and got some nice photo and video. And I know that they came here to really have some fun, but really showcase the boat. And so we gave them the opportunity to do just this. And Captain Tio, his favorite thing is just like showing how well the boat turns. So here's a segment shot from the Flight 1130 of them just going back and forth, crossing our wakes. And notice how when they turn and go through our wake, the boat doesn't not even budge. It just carves right through that wake. A great handling boat, and you got to hang on because this thing can really turn on a dime. So a great performing 38 center console. Starting to see a lot more of these on our poker run events. Oh, now time for the big dogs. It's the biggest Nortec here. It's a 450 model. Daniel and Chelsea Beck all the way from Oklahoma in this Nortec 450 Sport 5 Mercury Racing 400Rs. Here she is running alongside as we came off playing. Big thanks to Daniel and Chelsea, their first poker run with the club and Team Steel HOOKIN. Just look how beautiful the lines are on this Nortec 450 Sport. I mean, you got all that seating, room for all your friends, a nice air-conditioned cabin down below with a bathroom for the girls. Guys, that doesn't get much better than this. What a great poker run boat. And still riding along on the Flight 1130 Cigarette, thought we would take a little detour and go down through the port, which would be to the right side of Harbor Island as you come into the channel. And it's kind of a cool ride because you can go fast most of the way, and there's lots of stuff going on here, big cruise ships and merchant ships, and there's a shipyard, so lots of activity. And there straight ahead is a fixed bridge. You go through that bridge, come off plane, and then you're back in downtown Tampa Harbor. Gonna just putt around now on the Cigarette and get the drone up, flying around as everyone now arrives back to downtown. There's the convention center straight ahead, and lots of activity here in the harbor, and you can see from the blue skies that the weather has held out all day, and we just got so lucky on the weather for this Saturday. Remember, we had almost like hurricane style weather just 2 days earlier with 30+ mile-an-hour winds and rain, and oh, it was just miserable. But wow, what a full reversal of weather as we now close in on Michael Tandoy and his crew on Speed Racer, the 44 MTI. So let's just let the drone do its job and enjoy this segment as everybody makes their way back to the docks and gets settled in for the night. Now, there's one other thing that comes to mind when you do get settled in here at the docks. Remember, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon, and the dinner party's not till about 7, so there's a couple of hours to just chill, take off the life jackets, open up the cooler, rinse off the boats, and just have a nice dock party. And that, my friends, is when you can let your hair down and start to have some fun. And from the dock party, fast forward about 3 hours, we're now here at the Westin Waterside Ballroom. The biggest ballroom they have, actually, because we're up to over 300 guests now for the Saturday night party, which was well set up. I really enjoyed the venue. It had a nice room for greeting and for the big video to be playing, and the girls were playing out the poker cards. There's Jackie and Abby checking the guests in for the dinner party, where they just present their dinner passes, get everybody in, and then you can go out and have your fun, starting with playing your cards, go to the bar, get a drink, whatever. But it's a great format because it gives everyone a chance to see some of the videos that we shot that day, while at the very same time to play out their poker hands. And remember that everybody who registers for the poker run gets 5 cards. And Chad's turning all his cards over right now. Remember, we gave out 4 bonus cards. Those were the pickup points throughout the day. Those are all bonus cards. So those 4 get added to the 5 that you automatically get with your hand, and then giving you 9 cards to play out your first hand. Now, if you want to play out additional hands, that naturally will give anybody the additional chance to try to win one of the top 3 prizes. And the big question is, how much are those prizes? Well, altogether we give out $6,000 in cash and vouchers. So $3,000 of that cash, $3,000 of it vouchers, split between the top 3 teams. And of course, we have a number of other sponsored prizes to give out as well. But you can see it's a very festive and enjoyable vibe here for everyone. Remember that a lot of these people are getting together with boating friends that they maybe haven't seen for a while. And of course, a lot of you are meeting new people for your very first time. And these parties are what really gives everyone a chance to enjoy the camaraderie of their fellow club members. And, really that's what it's all about at the end of the day, to get together with friends and really celebrate the Florida boating lifestyle. As always, we like to kick off the festivities by thanking all of our sponsors. Let's begin with Mark and Eileen Fisher, owners of Deep Impact Custom Boats in Miami, who attended in a Deep Impact 399. And special thanks to Mike and Robin Layton, who joined us from Adrenaline Powerboats from Georgia. They featured their Adrenaline 47 Reaper. There were 2 registered for the run. And special thanks to Jeff Corbell, that's him on the right, with the entire crew from Performance Boat Center, who also provided us with their fantastic poker run service support. And our lovely Kendall got in the picture with Eric Glazer and his wife Hagen, who are big supporters of this event. They love coming to Tampa every year, representing Midnight Express Powerboats. And Eric Avila from Concept Boats was not able to attend the run, so accepting for Concept is John Van Dyke, all the way from Michigan, who took delivery of his brand new Concept 36, making this his first poker run for the new Concept model. And representing Nortec High Performance Boats from Cape Coral was Jeff Tomlinson, who rode along with Antonio Swad in the Nortec 450 Sport Team Square Grouper. And special thanks to Simon Williams and the entire crew from Cortez Cove Marina. They had 2 fountains registered for the run on behalf of Fountain Powerboats. And we all know this guy by now, Devin WOZENCRAFT from WOZENCRAFT Finance and Insurance. And our FPC girl has now changed from Kendall to Abby, presenting Eric Lemoyne with Best Cockpit and Interior. That's for his 43-foot Midnight Team Timekiller. The best team name went to Tom and Suzanne Hall for Just Got Bored, this 42 MTI with 5 Mercury Racing 500s. And the farthest traveled award went to Kevin Primer from Ontario, Canada. Their crew traveled 1,700 miles to join us for the Tampa Bay run. The best paint and graphics for a V-bottom, that was awarded to Rick Regal for his Cigarette 42X Team SMOKIN. Best paint and graphics for a center console, that went to Antonio Swad for his Nortec 450 Team Square Grouper. And the farthest trailered award went to Daniel Beck for Steel HOOKIN, a Nortec 450 Sport. They trailered it all the way from Oklahoma to join us. And the best performance V-bottom, that went to Spencer and Mark Headley for their 42-foot fountain Team Made in America. And the best dressed team went to Michael Tandoy and the entire crew from the 44 MTI Team Speed Racer for their matching team shirts, bathing suits, and cocktail dresses for the ladies. Best Catamaran award went to Sal Olivia for his brand new 40-foot Mystic Cat. This was his very first poker run for the new Cat. And this award is always tough to give out because there's so many boats that meet this category, but the best poker run boat went to Simon Williams for their 43-foot Fountain SCX model powered by Quad Mercury Racing 500Rs. And the one I always love giving out is the Most Enthusiastic Team Award. That went to In Spades, Peter and Kathy Mackey on the 43-foot Black Thunder. Best Engines and Rigging was awarded to Tim Bush, all the way from Ohio, for his big 1100 Keith Eichert motors, which he rebuilt himself and re-rigged in the 37-foot Outer Limits stiletto. And another big award that could have gone in different directions, but this time it went to Daniel Hollis for his Adrenaline 47 Reaper. It's powered by 5 Mercury Racing 500Rs and was featured at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show when it first premiered. And I think we all agree that one of the most coveted awards of all time is the Sexiest Crew Award, and that's why we have 2. The first of those went to Team Square Grouper. That's Antonio Swad and his lovely ladies. They put on a great show. And the other Sexiest Crew Award went to JP Jordan's crew, led by Cody and her ladies riding on that 34 Nortec. And I always save the most precious award to the very end, and that's the Member Appreciation Award, which I gave to the Fowler family. Kyle Fowler, along with his mom Lisa and dad Mike, have always made poker runs a family affair, and we really appreciate them coming out to support these events year after year. They attended the Tampa run in the 42-foot Right Performance Cat, SMOKIN 420. And for the final round of awards, Jackie and I joined in for the top 3 winners, starting with third place, which went to Tori Robeson, Team Be First, a 39-foot Cigarette Top Gun. Second place went to Greg and Raquel Tolson, one of our local teams who attended in their Nortec 340 Sport Team Power Trips. And congratulations to our first place winners, Ryan and Rachel Garnett, who traveled all the way from Texas to join us for their first time in Tampa with their 39 MTI Cat Team Flight 311. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for Tampa Bay Poker Run 2024, right here from downtown Tampa with the Tampa Convention Center as our headquarter marina. And, of course, thanks to the Marriott Water Street and the Westin Waterside Resort, our headquarter hotels. So, wish we could hang out and give you more fun from Tampa, but we got to move on, guys. We're heading up to Orange Beach, Alabama for the annual Orange Beach Powerboat Week, headquartered at the Wharf, and it's all right here on the Florida Powerboat Club's YouTube channel. That one's just around the corner, and you guys can't afford to miss another show, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you'll get an update every time a new show is released. Be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events and as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're going to sign off for now. This is Stu Jones along with our producer Ryan McCoy in the Pompano Beach studio. Have fun out there, guys. Be safe on the waterways. Wear your life jackets when the time is right, and always respect your fellow boaters. Bye for now.